Welcome back. Hey, Manic. Welcome back to the stream, man. How you doing? Yeah, it has been a while. I got a lot to talk about. We got the Democratic debates from the last couple of nights to talk about, and we've got other stuff. I'm doing good. I'm doing great. Things are doing pretty okay for me right now. Hey, KT, how you doing? Glad to see you. The only reason I had the donation link here is because I've got some. Gosh, I've got a lot of issues. My eBay account is closed down right now because I haven't been able to pay the fees very well because most of the money that I've been getting from my sales goes right into the bills and stuff that we have to pay. And so then I've got almost $100 that I still have to pay to eBay just to be able to sell stuff again. So, yeah. So if you guys can, I'd appreciate the help. If you can't, that's fine. I'm just letting you know now because that's one of the things that I'm probably going to get a lot of questions about. So let's talk about the debates. Let's talk about where do I start? Okay, so we had 2 different nights of debating between 2 sets of 10 candidates for the presidency in the United States. Specifically, these were all Democratic candidates, and these were just the ones that fit the bill. There were a lot of people vying for the attention of the public, vying for their moment in the spotlight. It's supposed to be moderated, but I don't think that helped any. I think the entire orderliness of the event just went right out the window as soon as Bernie and Kamala Harris started really talking about the issues that were most important to them. And poor Andrew Yang, or not, whoever Yang, whatever his first name is, poor Senator Yang, he got barely any screen time, barely any attention at all. And he was going to offer everybody a basic income of $1,000 a month. And the only question he got was, so your biggest your biggest thing is that you want to give people $1,000 a month, and he's like, oh, I mean, it was as if he didn't really. Well, no. It was the calculation. Oh, thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. It was almost as if they gave him the total of what that would all cost, and it was about $3 to $4 billion. And he's like, wait a minute, what? And the poor guy probably didn't know what the calculations were. But it was so sad, I thought. It was so sad that we had a candidate that wants to give everyone a basic income, and yet his team or whatever didn't even let him know how much that would even be a year. three or $4 trillion a year. I mean, sure, let's just hike up the debt more. I mean, why not? And then, like I was saying, between Bernie Sanders and Kamala Harris, they really just stole the spotlight from the rest of them, and they went over time. They went over every single facet of every question that they were given, it was almost as if they were the only two focused on that night. And I'm not sure who they focused on night one, but I don't know. There were just a lot of people that were frustrated by the way the debates went. I agree with them. I mean, I watched a recap of everything, and 90% of it. Hold on, my connection is pretty bad right now. I'll try to sort it out. Oh, well, my stream health is okay, it says. But that doesn't mean anything. Really doesn't. Let's see. Okay. But yeah, so the debates were iffy. They were iffy. Thank you guys for joining the stream. I'm just talking about a lot of stuff. I'm talking about the Democratic debates and everything that's going along with them. Where's your chalkboard with subscribe on it? I haven't had that up in a while. I actually got a sign, a light up sign that I was supposed to put don't forget to subscribe on, but it's not working out. Evidently the lights don't work. Aren't I fancy? Yes, I try to be. Yeah, so I'm fairly happy with the way that things are going, I guess. I don't know how we're going to end up finding out who would be a better candidate, because nobody's really talking about the big issues, which are immigration, tax reform, and a couple other things. I mean, here in America, we're pretty much screwed anyway, because no matter which party you belong to, it all comes down to a choice between two people, and 9 times out of 10, neither one are really suitable to pursue the common interest of the common person, the common citizen. I mean, this isn't like Rome back in the day when people were basically valued highly just because they were a citizen. Nowadays, if you're not rich, you don't matter. If you're not rich, you don't get a lot of attention either. I mean, I'm poor as heck. I get some attention, but there are big networks that get a lot of attention. There are big personalities that get a lot of attention. And then there's the rest of us, the ones without a voice. And it's the same way in politics. If somebody I swear the only reason why the Great Orange one even got into office was because he knows how to talk to a crowd. He knows how to rile them up and how to stir the blood within them. That's all that he did. He didn't have good policies. He didn't have a thought out plan. He just knew how to talk. I could do that. I could talk. I could be a great public speaker. I could inspire America to vote for me with my words. But I wouldn't want to do that because my words mean nothing if they're not backed up with action. And that's the problem with 95% of politicians, is that all their words are empty. They're empty words, and they don't mean a whole lot. They don't care. They don't try. They're just there. And so that's why I kind of feel like this whole Democrat versus Republican fight is pointless, meaningless. almost as if we're fighting ourselves, which we are. We kind of are. So, yeah, America is screwed. We knew that from the beginning, but um, I wonder if Trump is going to be reelected. Well, the big problem with Trump being reelected at this point is there are a lot of people that are starting to get their eyes opened as to how Trump really is. We've gotten several investigations. We've gotten the report from Mueller. Robert Mueller is probably one of the most single-handedly famous and single-handedly heroic individuals that have ever served in the Department of Justice, just because he managed to blow the whistle and blow the lid off of the entire. I heard there was a new rape allegation. Probably, I wouldn't put it past Donnie to have continued to accumulate various scandals. I mean, it's practically second nature to him at this point. Oh, I don't even know what to think about him anymore other than to pity him. That's it. I pity the man. I pity the foolish man that decided, I'm going to run for president, but I'm not going to care about any kind of thing about being a person of integrity or having my information straight or anything else. I'm just going to say whatever and people will believe it because why not? Because he's used to that. He's used to telling people to hush, and they do. He's used to telling people to believe what he tells them to believe, and they do. Because when you have money, you have power over other people, especially if those people work for you, because you can affect their paycheck like that. You can affect their entire livelihood. Oh yeah, Ravelry. I remember that. Yeah, I I actually learned about the Ravelry thing on Colbert's Late Show. He talked about it, and I'm like, okay, so the knitting community is even coming together and saying, well, then again, they had the they had the hats back in the during the elections, so there's that too. You're a member? Oh, nice. I'm glad. I'm glad. Personally, I just oppose Trump because, frankly, I see who he really is, and I understand the implications of putting a yeah, the kitty hats. Yeah, those. They call them by the P word, but yeah, those were the hats. Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, yeah, I didn't want to either. That's why I was just saying the hats. Yeah. You've never seen one? Huh. But, you know, there are a lot of people out there that are saying, Trump's making the country great. I'm like, okay, how is he making the country great when he's destroying international relations, he's destroying our economy from the inside out, he's destroying all sense of unity between classes in America, and he's destroying the integrity of even the government itself by saying he can do whatever he wants, and actually being able to do whatever he wants and get away with it. Yeah. They're yeah, they do look kind of stupid, but you know, it is what it is. You know, I don't know. I feel like, with everything going on, the entire spectrum of people here in America. Are you still on at the other place? No, I've started streaming exclusively to YouTube. Um, Twitch wasn't really working out because unless you're already established, you don't get a lot of attention there. At least here, I can grow a bit easier because I can even just post. Say, don't spray it, Gregory. I can just post videos and grow, and then I can also stream and have more people watching because I'm growing. So, yeah, doing Twitch wasn't helping much. It really wasn't. I wanted to do it, but I couldn't. So, let's get away from politics. And, yeah, this is the second live stream with nobody on it. Yeah, I'm kind of used to that at this point. Maybe it's just the wrong time of day, or maybe I need to advertise a bit and like create a streaming event and then wait until that time and then stream. I mean, I did that a few times before and it actually worked. So maybe, yeah. I don't know. We'll see how things go with that. But yeah, I want to talk a bit about my game because, I mean, I finally got a copy through Steam of the game engine that I want to use. It's called RPG Maker, but I'm not just making RPGs. So I'm kind of glad certain people aren't on here, though. Yeah, I agree. I agree. That was kind of. So how's Fox doing? Any good? I know he's probably enjoying his summer still, unless you guys go back to school before we do. I know here in America we still got like 3 months. He's still in school. Oh, man, 4 more weeks? Wow. Now that is something I would never expect. Really? 6 weeks off? Oof. You guys must be an all year round school system. Now, that's not something that we do here in America. Just because a lot of people are like, are you nuts? And I'm like, yes. I mean, if we tried to push the whole year-round school issue, there would be a lot of kids that would march on whatever government building they could. Oh, really? Every 6 weeks he gets a bit of time off. How does that help? I mean, how does that really help? Because even just a week, and you end up with so much being lost from your head. I mean, dang. Wow. Okay, I just got a 4th of July sale from eBay. I thought maybe it wasn't a notification that one of my items sold. So tell me about your game. Okay, so I've been wanting to make video games ever since I was about 14, 15 years old because I played the first Kingdom Hearts game about that age, and I really loved how storytelling could be mixed with gameplay. And so I've always dreamed about it, but I started doing research on the computer back then, and there was such a difficult learning curve with being able to make games. There still is if you want to do 3D. But about 4 years ago, I started hearing about this software called RPG Maker. And I'm like, wait a minute, what? So I looked at it and I'm like, dang, this makes making a game easy. And I used the free trial back then. And I'm like, I like this. But I didn't have the money to pay for it. And I didn't know that Steam sold it through their store and that it would go on sale on occasion. So about a year ago, I found out that it was available through Steam, and I kept waiting for a Steam sale and kept hoping I'd have money, and I never did. But I still got the free trial, and I started making a bit of a demo of the game, which you saw a trailer for a few months ago. So basically, what I want to do with the game is I want to make an interactive story spanning several games that kind of tells and explores the deeper truths about just who we are, how we live our lives, and how we can be so much more than we ever believed we could. And, I mean, this is just me talking, but I've had a lot of experience about writing. I really have. I've done several short stories that I never published, but I just wrote for the fun of it. And then I lost the time, but I still enjoyed doing them. I really want to make... Yeah, I wrote. One sec. Are any of them horror? No. I don't do horror stories at all. I do mainly lighthearted stuff. But no, I've never published anything really, and I've never... No, I do more fantasy, comedy, that kind of thing. I'm not really a suspense or a horror or even thriller kind of writer, just because I've never really been able to really set the mood with that kind of a thing. I don't know if it's just my perceptions don't work with that or what, but I mean, if you've ever read a Stephen King novel, you almost have to have a kind of psychosis to be able to get into the you kind of just need a kind of psychosis in order to be able to get into the frame of mind to be able to write certain kinds of horror or certain kinds of thrillers or whatever. Come on, say it, don't spray it. What's making me salivate this much? I don't know. Maybe I'm just... maybe I'm hungry. I haven't really been eating solid food in the last couple of days. I've been doing protein shakes to try and keep my calorie consumption low so that I can actually go to my sister's this evening and have a cookout and not go over my caloric budget for the week. Budgeting calories like I budget money. Great. Well, you know, things, you know, it works out, I guess. So, surgery sometime in September. I've still got about 10 pounds to lose in between then and now. But beyond that, it's just a matter of getting everything situated, everything. Yeah, that's about it. I've already gotten the medical, I've already gotten all the examinations done. I've already gone through the process of making sure it's okay with my insurance and everything, and, you know, And all they really just want me to do a minimal amount of weight loss and keep that off up until surgery to show that I can actually maintain lost weight, which, is the biggest issue. I'm doing a 1,000,000 step challenge for diabetes that also ends in September. Nice. I'm proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Yeah, I really, it's not that often that I get a lot of people on a stream anymore anyway. So, 19 marathons. Dang. Now there's a goal. Run 19 marathons in a year. Oh, great. Yeah, I could barely walk the equivalent of 19 marathons in 3 years, let alone a year. Oof. I'm kind of glad that you're the one doing that, not me. Good luck towards your surgery, brother. Thanks. Moving forward. How are you doing today? One of the biggest things that I really want to start doing with my channel, at least, is doing more relevant content based on the news, but also doing stuff that really does engage and instruct people. I also want to, I'm doing pretty good, thanks. I also want to hopefully continue the discussion on mental illness and maintaining good mental health, because there are so many people like Desmond Amofa or Etika who, like him, are creators, but because they put themselves out to the public like he did, they end up getting so much negative backlash that it really hurts them. And I want to start finding ways to promote healthier living and healthier coping mechanisms for people who have to deal with that, because nobody should ever feel like that is the only option left. Nobody should feel that way. Like I said in a video I made earlier last week, I think, I've gone through 5 attempts, and I survived each one, but I've gone through 5 attempts, and after the 5th one, I started getting the proper health. With who? Etika? Oh, he'd been feeling depressed for the last few months, and last Friday he was pronounced missing. Monday they found his possessions on the Manhattan Bridge, and then later on the same day they found his body that they then Tuesday pronounced as his. So, yeah. He basically lost the fight with his mental illness and gave up. And like I said, I've gone through 5 attempts of giving up. Yeah, he was a YouTuber. He was a very, very passionate YouTuber. He talked a lot about video games and anime and stuff that he enjoyed, but I guess along the way with everything, how old am I? I'm going to be 28 this year, actually. 28 years old. Can you imagine? 2 more years and I get the big 3-0, and then I can have a midlife crisis. To be honest, I'm already having one. It's called I'm alive. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But no, so he gave up. And that's not good. It's never good when you give up because there's so many other options. How dorkily adorable are you? I don't know, you tell me. But he gave up the fight so easily. Well, not easily. It takes a lot of strength even to give up. It takes a lot of strength to give up, but it takes a lot more strength to keep going. It takes a whole lot to keep going despite everything going wrong, everything coming at you all at once, everything that stresses you out, depresses you, makes you mad, makes you want to just reach out and punch somebody, not touch somebody, hit somebody, but I feel so bad for these people that decide that that's the only option they've got. Because there's such a beautiful life waiting for them if they can just get through that rough patch. And that's why I hope to be the person that inspires people to not give up. I want to inspire people to keep finding things that make them feel secure, that make them feel happy, that make them feel like they matter, because they do. They really do. And if people don't believe that, then I don't know what to tell them anymore, because I stopped listening to people telling me that I was worthless years ago because I got tired of hearing the same old like a broken record. And I finally decided, you know what? Instead of letting people put me down, I'm just not going to worry about it. If there's going to be someone that wants to be negative, fine. But I'll be positive right back, so that way maybe that'll make them feel less negative, and maybe it'll help them out of whatever slump they're in. But that's why I feel called even to be a positive force, a positive influence, a positive figure in today's world. Especially, oh, good God, I'm going to get into this really quick. The advent of social media has really been a negative influence on the general mental health of many young people, especially growing teenagers. Because I don't know about you, but Twitter and Facebook setting the age limit at the minimum of 13, I feel is more of a guideline than an absolute rule. I think parents should use discretion and really consider whether or not their child can handle being exposed to the potential negativity that comes from being involved in social media and social platforms. Too many parents are like, "Oh, you're 13 now. You can have a Facebook account." And don't worry about it beyond there. And that's why we have so many kids getting pregnant early, because they learn about that stuff from their peers, and then they're like, "Oh, well, I want to try that." And then 6 months later, she's throwing up, and it's like, "What's wrong with you? Go get a pregnancy test." And, "Oh, well, okay, you're in trouble." But, I mean, or just whatever. And it ends up being a stupidly huge amount of negative influence on our young people. So, I think social media should be a privilege, not a right, and should be monitored closely by the parents, because we've got a, good Lord, I remember a few years ago, we had that story about these two teenage girls that tried to stab their friend to death to appease Slenderman. And a mythical figure created in the modern age. A mythical figure created in a creepypasta on some website. And it's like, okay, this isn't a real person. It's not even a historical figure. It's just a story that somebody wrote online for fun, and these kids took it as gospel. Because there was a following and there was a culture around this. And then a couple of years ago, we had the Slender Man movie, and it's like, seriously, are we going to just ignore the mistakes and the actions of the past and encourage more teenagers to go crazy and say, oh, well, I just wanted to be a proxy of Slender Man? And no, you just really wanted to have an excuse to be a psychopath. Just saying. Just saying. Although, to be fair, I think most teenagers are technically psychopaths because they have yet to really have a full understanding of how their actions affect other people and even themselves. And so they really don't have that connection with other people that most well-adjusted people do because they're not adjusted yet. What? The baby is 15? What? What do you mean? Oh, God. Yeah. Oh, well. I'm just saying in general, because they haven't yet fully grasped social norms and social customs, they do fit into the categorization of psychopath. I'm so sorry. Oh, good night. Good Lord. Good night, everybody. Oh, good God. I did not mean to imply that your child was. Oh, God. Oh, Jesus. Okay, so now that I've basically managed to indirectly insult a viewer's child, yeah. It's not so much just teenagers, it's anyone under at least the age of 14 to 15 when they really start grasping the whole idea of just hide the knives. Oh, hide the knives. Oh, good Lord. Ah, jeez. I don't know. I feel like we've strayed so far from being rationally intelligent human beings. I mean, we'll hand we're not going to give a child a gun, but we'll give them a social media account, which can lead to the same thing. The death of another human being thanks to the influence of your child. Because, frankly, under the guise of an online account, under the guise of an alias, people can be cruel. And children are even more so. I mean, even in person, children can be terribly cruel. And I personally have been the victim of a lot of bullying when I was a child. In person. The children didn't need a screen name to hide behind. They just bullied me because they wanted to. And now, it's even easier. And with social media, now we have no real repercussions for your actions. You have no real understanding of what your actions are going to lead to. And we're giving this kind of power to kids. Does this really seem like a good idea? I think not, but whatever. I mean, there are more stupid arguments people can make about whether or not it should be okay for kids to have a social media account. But either way, I just feel like this is kind of, I don't know, kind of stupid, kind of idiotic, kind of strange. I don't know. I kind of hope that maybe we'll get smarter as we grow older, and as we see more and more of the impact that this kind of thing has. I mean, the modern media itself romanticizes. Okay, dogs are barking their heads off. But yeah, so the modern media really romanticizes the idea of mental illness. And it's so heartbreaking to know that people are taking their cues about mental illness and just disabilities and other stuff from TV that doesn't even provide the full picture of what it's like to be depressed or suicidal or schizophrenic or have a condition like autism or Asperger's or even Down syndrome or anything like that. There are so many issues, so many different. Oh, a dog was going by. It figures, hey, are you a dog? Yeah, I'm a dog. Wow, I'm a dog too. Hi. I mean, good Lord, it's almost like they just it's like they just bark because they want to talk to each other. And, good Lord. I got that joke from Family Guy, by the way. It's not mine, just using what material I know. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, the Twilight bark. Yeah. It's been so long since I've watched that, and good Lord. But, yeah, I swear, there are so many stupid people in the world that give their kids access to the wrong things. They give their kids access to the internet, which really should not be something that kids are even accessing. I mean, there's so many ways. I mean, even just a couple of years ago, there was this whole big scandal about YouTube because there were kids' videos that were showing very inappropriate content. Not nudity, not, stuff like that, but just cartoon characters doing very, very family unfriendly things. And I heard about that whole thing and I'm like, how the hell did this get under YouTube's radar? They won't let you even post a video with a song without striking it out of the sky. Well, a song that's not yours anyway. Now, songs of your own. Oh well, that sounds similar to this, so that's this, and so therefore you're. It's like, no, but okay. We'll just go ahead and appeal it again because why not? But I don't know. I feel like a lot of people are getting more and more desensitized to the way that these things can and will affect people negatively. I mean, if you need more evidence of social media being a toxic environment, look no further than a place like Twitter, where almost every single discussion on a post turns into an argument between two people calling each other names. Or Reddit, where you can get banned for simply voicing an opinion that isn't the collective agreement. Or whatever. And you wonder why some people get so ticked off and so depressed and so down in the dumps. Anyway, yeah, so that's all I wanted to really talk about today. I'm sorry that I can't be on longer. I've got stuff to do. I hope to be back Monday. Yeah, Monday. Won't do a stream tomorrow. Tomorrow's Sunday. That's my day of rest. But Monday, I hopefully will. Sorry, my hand's been giving me issues. But, have a good time at your sister's. Yeah, I definitely will. I think there's a storm coming because my hand's been giving me issues, and that's the hand that's got the really bad, arthritis in it, so you never know. Anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Well, I hope you do, KT. I don't know who the other two people are. Oh, great. Well, you live in Britain. I mean, isn't that the forecast like 5 days out of the week? It's like we're going to have rain this day, and then rain again tomorrow, and rain again Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, and then we might have a bit of sun on Saturday, but then back to rain on Sunday. Oh. Been hot as Hades here for the last 2 days. Wow. Love the Brit accent. It's not that great, but, I have watched a lot of British television, so I know a little bit about how to do it. Anyway, I thank you guys so very much for watching. Ow, ow, ow. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, I definitely have to hurry and get off of the stream because the back door is saying hello. So I'll see you guys again soon. I hope you have a wonderful day, and until next time, I'll be back when the day is new, and I'll have more ideas for you, and you'll have things that you'll want to talk about. I will too, because it's you I like. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. I'll see you again soon.